they are not that good, and we do not have that huge traffic as yours. So yeah.
I have an eye for it. I did few profiles already on LinkedIn, so
So at this moment, before we jump in, I will show to all attendees how they can communicate with us, because the topic is interesting, and we will happy to answer all your questions, and at this moment how to ask the questions, because we are here with another 50 people, so the chat is basically turned off, but here is a meeting tools, and when you open the meeting tools, you can see the Q&A, and when you click to the Q&A, there is a button to ask question. When you click the button, you can write your question, and you can basically ask us. And I just kick it off with the first questions. With the first question, and where are you based? And I will be happy if somebody can reply with the Q&A interface to test it out that everything's work correctly. Prague, Brno, a lot of Czech audience, because Tallinn, okay, we are going to international. Thank you guys. Lisbon, amazing. Bratislava, amazing. Thank you for all the replies. So, and this is basically the interface where you can ask us anytime. When we discuss some specific topic, I usually pause, take a look to the questions, and after that, I just ask directly to Maria. So, and another thing, when you would like to be more interactive and more involved, we are also open basically for some discussions here during the live session, and you can basically raise your hand, and my colleague Anna just invite you on the stage, and you can ask us directly. We also love this type of the interaction, so do not worry. And thank you for all the replies. And I am sending the greetings to the Luxembourg, Canada, Lisbon, and many other locations. Thank you for that. And right now, I just stop presenting, and Anna will start the recording, because the most frequent question is, will be the recording available? And my answer, yes, recording will be available during tomorrow on our YouTube. Benefit of the YouTube is that also doing the auto translation. So if you are miss something in English and you would like to basically see that in your local language, the YouTube giving this ability with the AI generated captions, and we just start using that, and basically yesterday, I just received many questions. Will be the webinar also available in Spanish and etc.? Yes, will be with the Spanish captions and other languages that are covering the YouTube. So that's the for beginning. And at this moment, I would like to introduce myself. And my name is Thomas, and I am from company called Leadspeaker. And what Leadspeaker is the sales automation platform, where we covering basically the whole process of the lead generation, from the leads research up to cold outreach or the lead activation itself. So when you are at this moment looking how to boost your pipeline, feel free to book a demo, and happy to jump on a call. And at this moment, I just stepping with a short advertisement on the beginning, and I would like to welcome and introduce the Maria. And Maria basically is marketing agency owner that help already with 15,000 different clients to set up the LinkedIn profiles correctly. Between her clients are also the huge organizations like the European Commission, NATO, and etc. And at this moment, I would like to welcome. And Maria, you can add something when did I cover everything what you are doing, or you can basically take over and introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Tomasz. And yeah, you did it perfectly. So thank you so much for the introduction. And I love Lead Picker. So I'm using Lead Picker for automation of LinkedIn profiles. It's also possible to set up more profiles in one account. So I'm really satisfied with it. And the reason why we are here today is how to turn your profile into a sales asset. I want to a bit do this untraditional way than usual presentations are, because if you just want to get some insights into how to do setting of your LinkedIn profile, you can just basically go to LinkedIn Learning and they will explain you some of the basics. However, I want to really give you something that will help you to see LinkedIn completely different way. And I would like you to think about LinkedIn and maybe take this as an invitation to change a bit of your mindset when thinking about social media and LinkedIn especially, because LinkedIn has 1.3 billion users, which it makes the biggest professional database worldwide. And you can just imagine that a really big proportion of these people on LinkedIn can be your customers, your clients, or even people who can put you on another level. Meaning, for example, to invite you on stages worldwide, or like to give you opportunities and partnerships. This is how LinkedIn is different from others. However, what really changed for me in LinkedIn and also for other clients of ours, because our targeting audience are business owner, are people like entrepreneurs and founders. And what really changed the game is to switch yourself from the business owner to the business asset holder. What do I mean by this? Is that you could hear in the past that LinkedIn is just CV. This is usually like for employees to just fill out all of the gaps on your LinkedIn profile, etc. However, for the business owners, it's the same. Usually, like you create some company page, you fill out your experience, that you're CEO, that you're founder, and let's be honest, like you didn't just post once in a while just to like show, yeah, like I'm alive, we did some like goals, some achievements. However, if your mindset really switches from the business owner to the business asset holder, meaning that your LinkedIn is the business asset which adds into your business, the game completely changes. And I want to show you now how other people also do it. So
And
next.
I giving you at this moment the screen share right. So at this moment you can basically share the presentation by yourself.
All right, perfect. I will just a second. I was curious if I'm going to say like 20,000 times, like if
Yeah, I should think basically before the webinar, but
where do I see that? I don't have yet I don't have yet the sharing rate.
uh, uh, so I just tried again. Sorry, guys. So the 1 second, and so maybe which email did you use for joining us? Because I just
Yes. It's marie.olivi.zamecnikova@gmail.com. It's different.
okay.
That's why.
I hope that at this moment I just sharing the rights with you, or I just do it that in a better way. I just basically open the presentation to everyone with the viewer with the viewing rights, and at this moment we can move forward. So you can test it out the link if this is accessible.
So should I click on something, or?
I just sending I just sending on a LinkedIn again. And again, thank you for the patience. But I hope basically from this moment everything will be smooth. It is already working.
Not on my side, but in case we can do it, that I will tell you to switch the slides. It's also no problem.
Okay, interesting. So I will be the presenter for today. So unfortunately, you just listened. You just okay. I will manage that.
All right, so we can go to the next slide. And what I meant by switching from the business owner to the business asset holder is that I would like to give you a practical example. For example, earlier last year, I actually was in acquisition.com in Las Vegas where I could meet Alex Hormozy. And I'm sure that like a really majority of you who is currently in this webinar, Alex Hormozy might be your idol. You might follow him. You might just quietly be jealous about what he has built, etc., etc. However, when you look at the LinkedIn profile of Alex Hormozy, you can see that he has almost 1 million followers. However, when you really dig deeper into his personal brand and how he is building his business, we can then go on the next slide, and it will be his actually wife with the Guinness World Record, because he is really a beast in the digital marketing, and he actually made everything around the personal brand. So how he is actually seeing himself and his wife is that they build two separated personal brands, and on this they build it also their business. And you usually cannot really see like what is their business until you really dig deeper. I think that I started to follow them like 6-8 years ago when they started, and I think until last year I actually didn't know what they actually do with acquisition.com. I knew that there is some acquisition.com as a business, but I never really got like do they sell something, can I get something. I know that I'm their targeted audience because they're jumping on me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and other social media, but I was not really sure. So on the next slide, we can see acquisition. We can actually see the Steven Bartlett. This is another really big personal branding profile that you might be actually aware of. And Steven Bartlett is actually like the owner of the Diary of CEO, which is a really prominent podcast on YouTube. And I just love it so much. And you can see here that Steven Bartlett has over 3 million followers on his LinkedIn profile. And on the next slide, you can also see the Diary of CEO. So these are the two things, two different like personal profiles that made it really high within like I would say even decade. They made a really immense amount of money. They got under the skin of other founders, other entrepreneurs, and they also have profile on LinkedIn. The next slide, please. So what do they have in common? When we really look at both of them more in depth, we can see that, for example, on the Alex Hormozy, on the next slide, on the Alex Hormozy, as we said, he has almost 1 million followers. And when we compare it with acquisition.com, which is on the next slide, then here he has it in his experience, and the acquisition.com has barely 100,000 followers. When you actually dig even more deeper, you can look at his presence on other social media channels. And this is, for example, Instagram, which is almost 5 million followers on Instagram. And I actually even didn't know if acquisition.com has a profile on Instagram, because I don't even follow it. Even like if you saw before, I don't even follow acquisition.com on LinkedIn. So then I look at if they have acquisition.com on Instagram, and it has only 22,000 followers. Then when you look at, for example, on X, you will see that on X, Alex Hormozy has 1 million followers, and in comparison with acquisition.com, which is just ridiculous, is 100 followers. So What does it tell to us? I think that most of you already see a bit of link what I'm trying to say here. So the next slide, please. When you look at the Stephen Bartlett, I will not repeat the same study case for the Stephen Bartlett because we would actually end up with completely same result. What is the difference between the personal brand and the company on different social media channels? And I want you to see here that why actually LinkedIn should be your business asset, that building actually your profile and who you really are is adding into your business and is accompany you in the way of how you are doing business. I was also doing a bit of research before this webinar, who are the people who are attending this webinar, and it really spanned from like hundreds of followers to thousands of followers. So I decided to make it for everybody, but mainly to change your mindset. In the sense that I meet a lot of potential clients on the sales call, usually when they want us to make their LinkedIn profile, either to revamp it or, for example, to make their presence better, because we do everything from A to Z in terms of branding on LinkedIn. And usually when actually the owner comes to me and they ask me, but you have like a few hundreds followers on a company, I'm like, yes, but these are two different things. We make the whole meaning around the founder. We take the person in the company and we start to share what is it like to be a founder? What is the story behind? Why did you actually launch that specific company? What is the story? What is the narrative? Because LinkedIn, at the end of the day, is social media. It's like Instagram, it's like YouTube, it's like X, where actually social media comes from the word social. And people will always be obsessed about how many coffees you drink during the day, rather than just artificial announcements about your achievements and about what your company goal is for the next year. This is rather for investors who actually want to invest then in your business. But also investors, they invest in companies where they see the presence of the founder. Meaning, we have a lot of, for example, software companies, software founders who, for example, know that their main goal is to exit when they're their company. And we do the whole personal branding with the main focus of saying the narrative of that software and attracting investors, for example. Because investors, first thing what they do, they Google your name if you are actually applying for investments. And the number one link that will usually appear on the Google search, it's your LinkedIn. And then investors, I would say 90%, even 95% of investors, when you ask them what is your number one condition, they will say the founder, because I want to be sure that he will make it until the end. And here we are in the loop. We are in the loop of the people. People trust people. It means not only your customers trust you as a person who is actually delivering the quality, not only the investors trust you as the business owner delivering the project that you started at the end, that you are going to exit with a certain value, and they look at what you do. What are your values? What you do? What is your narrative? What is your drive? Is it only money, or you do it for the certain purpose, for the certain impact? And this is why the social selling is so important in nowadays world and in the 21st century. And still a lot of founders and owners, they treat their LinkedIn profile rather as the business owner, where they just fill out the experience. Yes, I'm the CEO. Yes, I'm the founder, and this is our achievement.
I will add there.
Yes.
I will add there basically also one note basically from my side. When you take a look for the news like TechCrunch, Forbes, and etc., they are not writing about the best businesses, but they are writing about the best founders and people that are able to sell their success stories. And that's also the thing that basically no of the media houses won't write the article about you where you are invisible. So that's also the thing that you need to basically know that this is also the channel how you can attract some other attention on your brand, on your personal brand, and etc.
Yes,
So
I
and
completely agree.
and also, when I already jump in, we already have the first question, so we can basically answer the first question. And okay, so it is really funny that I seen that Navid sent a question, but when I opened basically the
I
Q&A.
see it. I see the question. It's not in Q&A. I think it's in normal chat.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, we have normal chat open. Amazing, amazing, interesting. Uh, Amazing, great. I didn't know that we have the normal chat. A lot of things happening there. A lot of things we didn't check before before the webinar. But what if you have the multiple companies under your profile? And that's the interesting question, because a lot of people has the multiple brands that they represent. What should be the approach here?
Yes, we have this a lot with our clients where they, for example, have many different companies, and it's usually like, what is your main priority like right now as in your personal brand? So you can have like many different companies. Some of the companies already, for example, run without you. You are the CEO, or for example, they are rather in the background. But usually, what we see a lot across all of the founders is that there is number one priority, or like what is really like the main getting into your marketing funnel. What are the people that are following you? And we do this usually in our kickoff workshop, where when we start, for example, the collaboration with the founder, where we really analyze, for example, all right, so you have e-shops, you also have some SaaS products. So like, what is the relation between this? Because there is a reason why you started these many companies. And we analyze what is the relation between that. What is, for example, the intro product for your followers, for the people who are, for example, following you. And usually like you want to analyze like how people can get into your marketing funnel. Because having the company where, for example, you are looking for investing into the companies, which, for example, makes a certain revenue, and then having, for example, company which is running workshops for the founders on a lower price, then like what is actually the introduction into your marketing funnel. So this you need to analyze, and you usually don't choose on your LinkedIn profile, for example, to advertise product for example, I don't know, like $50,000, because everybody would be like looking at you. Yeah, but I am not really your targeted audience. Like, I don't know, like, what should I do with this? And this is not something that you want to like advertise on daily basis. Instead, you want to, rather from the marketing perspective, you want to massage the people, which means your followers, your leads, your contacts, and getting them filtered into the different product levels. So at the beginning, you can give them just a lead magnet about like what I have learned as a founder. They will get into your newsletter. So you start to send them the newsletter. Inside newsletter, you can then like tell them about your like smaller product, which is part of your e-shop, where you are selling certain products where people can choose. When they, for example, start to buy your products, you can start to analyze who is buying, if there is among them some companies where you want to invest, because there might be some synergies. So if there are multiple companies, there is so many ways how you can actually play the game and how you can leverage your social media presence. But always think about what are the people that are watching you, for what reasons they are following you, and how you can actually run them through your pipeline to then get them into the stage where you want to have them. So yeah.
It is basically the pretty tough. Also, it is basically the pretty tough when you are doing something that is really niche. But basically, the generic approach is do some more generic posts that basically promoting you as a person to basically introduce to your target audience. After that, you can show the expertise in some topic where you are operating, and basically after that, for example, third or fourth post can be basically the business focus directly top of the funnel, because also in terms of the audience is really wide, and basically personally I am really sad from that, but basically the most of the impressions has the post where is a picture of me that I am recording some podcast, or the basically the picture from the team building, and etc. Totally the things that is not related to our product, and basically when we do some really interesting release where we spend the 3 months of a work and etc. And after that, we just seen, okay, the 1,000 impressions, okay, and they later the picture of me going somewhere into the hills, and it has basically the 60 likes, so it's total different. But yeah, it's a combination of both. So, and we have some other questions. What about showcase pages what about showcase pages? Are they useful? So I don't know what does it mean, the showcase page,
Me neither.
showcase pages. Maybe Alex, if you can add some more context, what does it mean? And in meanwhile, we can basically jump to the question from the Milan. By the way, personal brand is important, but what investors want to see is mainly revenue and how fast you can scale it. Show me you can get to 100 million USD annual recurring revenues in 5 years. Good luck. Yes, but also when you are looking for the investors, you just discussing with them the valuation and etc. And basically there is some type of the fear of missing out, and some feeling that they can have basically from you. And when you already have some background on the LinkedIn, it can help you during the whole process. But yeah, by the end of the day, it depends. It depends basically on your numbers, on your growth, and basically on the whole due diligence. But the first feeling, if investor decide to talk to you or not, is also the important. And here the LinkedIn is interesting channel. And the last question, and we will move forward with the presentation. I have 20,000 first degrees organic build. So 20,000 first degree followers, I guess. How do you segment my personal LinkedIn brand to target a certain audience? That's a great question.
Yes, I would jump into this. So it really depends like what you are posting, for example, on your profile. How do you interact with these 20,000 first degrees organically built followers? Because some of our clients, they even have like 70,000 plus. However, when it comes to, for example, engagement on their post, etc., it's silent. So definitely it depends on what you are posting, what is your goal, so what we want to achieve at the end, because your LinkedIn profile is your marketing funnel. So you have your personal profile, which is the first impression where people decide if they want to follow you or not, and within the 3 seconds they usually say, yeah, I want to follow this person, it's interesting to have it in my connection. And then when I follow you, I want to get engaged into your profile, so like that you hook me in and I get engaged. This is the second layer that you want to actually get nailed. So what you are posting about, what is your goal, and when you actually decide on your goal, start to post about it. And then when you see how many people engage, this is actually the number, how many people are interested in that specific problematic, in that specific product, and so on and so forth, because you can get different engagement depending on the different posts, like conversional, educational, and authority/trust. So definitely, like you will get more on the educational than, for example, on conversational. But this is how you usually segment the people inside this 20,000. And when they engage with you, this is like a invitation for you. You can actually contact me. So when people engage with you, you can take them to the DM where you can answer some of their questions, where you can like strengthen the connection and then get them on the call, or send them the sales page or your company page where you are speaking about that certain thing what you actually want to achieve. And this is how you usually segment it on your personal profile. I don't know if Tomasz, you have something to add from the automation perspective.
Basically, on the other way, you can basically to take a look for in terms of the data, you can basically start putting all your audience on one place and analyze that with the GPT and other large language models. And based on some criteria that you set it up, you can basically engage with them and etc. And do that on the scale. Because what I also see that basically some people was because the LinkedIn, I have a feeling that at this moment is some period of the LinkedIn, and they was active, for example, 5 years ago, and they just catch a lot of followers in that time. After that, they just stopped to be active on the LinkedIn, and at this moment, they have the LinkedIn with huge number of followers, and they would like to know how many of the people is relevant basically for their business. And in this term, I highly recommend to export all your current connections / the followers. You can do that basically directly in your LinkedIn settings. And after that, you can upload this list to tools like LeadSpeaker or any others, and basically take a look who is those people and if some of these people are relevant for some of the project. And we have a lot of other questions, but I think we will slowly move forward with the presentations and we just answer another questions, I don't know, in next 3 minutes, but let's move few slides right now.
Yes. So on the next slide, I actually want to tell you a story. And this story is about Marie Olivier. So actually what I am building and who I am, even though like Tomasz already introduced me at the beginning, but I think that it also requires a bit more information and background story. So on the next slide, I actually left my home country, which is Czech Republic, 11 years ago. And I have traveled more than 100 countries. On the next slide, I actually don't have a background in marketing. I am IT engineer and also have master degree in diplomacy. But even though I checked all of the boxes that society wanted me, I actually knew pretty soon that I need to start to digitize and also market my skills online and on social media if I want to make it on labor market, if I actually want to get clients or whatever is out there for me. So this is actually the reason why I built it my personal brand. And I actually started in 2019 to post on LinkedIn. And within 1 year, I, after targeting my dream employer at that time, because I just wanted to be employed, I didn't want to build company. I was actually at that time 6 months unemployed. I was recently graduate. I didn't know actually where the journey will take me. And I was targeting at that time mainly European Commission, who I wanted to work for in the office. And this was kind of my dream. What actually happened, a long story short, on the next slide, I actually built it my company. How this happened was that after 1 year of building my personal brand, European Commission actually came to me and they told me via LinkedIn, they just sent me DM, like people sent you DM on like Instagram or like X, etc. They actually just sent me DM on LinkedIn saying that they really like what I do on my website, on my LinkedIn, and that they want my services. I didn't wait it long. I was like, okay, I'm going to set up company. At that time I was in Belgium, so I set up company in Belgium. It took 48 hours. And Terre4 Marie Olivier LLC started in Belgium, and last year in summer we expanded into US, Florida. On the next slide, currently I am in personal branding for over 5 years, because this actually the journey just took me there. By just building my personal brand on social media, on LinkedIn, I was like, okay, I want to help other people. I want to help people who actually wants to get clients, who wants to get customers. And it started to roll in also for me, getting more clientele internationally. And on next slide, actually, currently I am within 1% LinkedIn creators, which is actually by the statistics of Favicon, which is influencer marketing platform, which actually labeled me as a 1% LinkedIn creator. I will also talk about it in a bit. What does it mean? But I am #1 also creator in Czech Republic, and also for the branding and marketing, and the top creator in Europe. And on the next slide, my company currently has international clientele from 4 continents, among which, for example, is European Commission, NATO. We also collaborated with them, and some big pharma. And from these 4 continents, it's mainly Europe, US, because of the companies are there. We also have clients from Middle East, mainly from Dubai, and some people also from Asia.
Maybe I will
Huh?
jump in because in terms of the clients, I just seen that a lot of basically that most likely the people that are active on the LinkedIn are the small business owners or basically the startup founders. And I just living in that. So basically, when you, for example, helping the European Commission or the NATO and etc., what are the people that building basically the personal brands out there, and what they are posting about and etc.
Mhm.
Because,
Yeah,
because it is really interesting. It's totally outside our bubble. Basically, I just see only usually the small, medium-sized businesses and startups. And at this moment, European Commission, NATO, and etc., huge pharma companies. Here in the Czech Republic, we have basically active few banks on the LinkedIn that are really strong, like the Komerční banka, Partners Banka. They has really huge brands. But for those type of businesses, I don't know if we have something like that active.
Yes, that's a really good question, and it's usually here you're speaking about corporate. So you have founders and owners usually, which has up to 100 employees, and there we want to raise awareness about the founder. Whereas when we speak about corporate, which is for example 100 plus, and here are also, for example, political institutions, European institutions, NATO, etc. This is more like a corporate. So you want to really they are run by the certain values. So you actually make the certain branding, for example, for that corporate presence, like the banners. There should be for example, the headshot done. What, for example, they should politically, for example, say about themselves on the LinkedIn profile. And it's also around the personal branding, but again, more like a personal branding for government or for corporate, how they can actually how they can actually spread the awareness about that specific institution, rather than I am the founder, I have here the goal to achieve things, and I want to exit my company in this, and my main ICP is actually investor. Whereas, for example, for the employees, it's rather to spread the values, to spread the awareness about what is happening, what are the news, so that it gets also in the younger generations, and so that there is also discussions, there are disruptors in political scene. So you want to rise the communication around it and discussion.
Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for this view, because it's also good validation for all of us here that basically the LinkedIn makes sense, because as was already mentioned, it's one of the biggest social networks, and also the huge government institutions and huge companies are already investing into their personal brands and employees brands on the LinkedIn. So
Yeah.
We can maybe answer a few other questions when I already stop you,
Sure.
or we can. Okay, so another question. When is it better to write post in English on when you localize them to your language? So here, this is also the question that I'm challenging. M- right now, because in terms of my connections, some of them, basically around 30% of them, are from Czech Republic. The rest is basically the worldwide. And I was posting in a past in a Czech. But at this moment, for us, it's really important the English market. And at this moment, I also the challenge this question: if I should post in Czech, after that in English, or only in English, because at this moment I just have more engagements under the Czech posts. But yeah, so that's the that's the thing, which language to choose.
Yes,
And
I
it
agree.
makes sense to switching the language post to post, or what is a best practice here?
Yeah. So I usually like mainly my ideal client is definitely like international client, so somebody who wants to expand to outsiders. And like all of our clientele is actually speaking English mainly on their LinkedIn profiles. It's also to be, even though like if your like ideal clientele is really in Czech and you are stuck in the borders, it's always good to also think in the future, like, is it really where I also want to be, for example, in 10 years? Do I want to maybe expand in the future? Because LinkedIn can help with that really considerably. And I am not really a big fan of actually translating. I, for example, saw it, I think it was like a prince in Dubai, like he's always doing the English, and he's always doing English and Arabic in his posts. And still, like, even when I analyze other profiles who do this, you always have bigger engagement in English rather than in your local language. So it's what is the main goal here. If you are like a small business owner in Czech Republic and your ideal clientele is Czechia, then definitely Czech language it is. I would not like go for English. And if you really think like I should start with English, then there is already the seed. So then you want to expand in the future. There is probably a reason why you think about English. So then just choose English because your life will be much easier. And then you can have like partnerships. You can, for example, do some site webinars in Czech. You can do some programs in Czech. However, like English market is much
It's
bigger than
huge.
the Czech
Yeah.
market. Yeah. So like in terms of the money, in terms of the goals, and like I would first, like from the business level, really answer these questions, and then you have answer for your LinkedIn if to choose local language or English. If there are reasons for the English language, just go for English because your life will be just easier.
Yeah, I was like, because I just started in a Czech. After that, I switched to the English, and at this moment, I have the mixed audience, but the focus is basically on the in US and in the English speaking market. But at this moment, my LinkedIn algorithm works really interesting way, that basically when I posted something in a Czech, I just get the more impressions than comparing to posting in English. But it's basically to start posting in English more often, or in your language, where is your target market, and just basically wait till algorithms start making the impressions, or also on these posts. And when I'm talking about the algorithm, I have there the question from Kilian, and basically Kilian just asking for some secret sauce about the engagements on the LinkedIn.
Yes. Thank you so much for this question. And wait until the end because the secret sauce will be there.
Okay, so let's continue with the presentation, and we answer the rest of the questions in a few minutes. And again, thank you for interacting with us. And yeah, it's somehow like the Q&A sessions plus some slides.
Yes.
So
Thank you so much for the interaction, guys. You are super active. I love it. So even more questions can come to our way, and I will also then be answering. In case we will not have enough time, I will then be like definitely like posting about your questions afterwards, because this is so great. So on the next slide, and we're gonna continue. It's just like two more points, and currently, like my company is generating around six-figure dollars business with annual revenue, with over 150 paid clients. So this all was built from scratch on LinkedIn. Since then that DM actually came my way on LinkedIn. And the last slide is about that I have about, over 1 million views across the different platforms. I'm not only on LinkedIn, but also on others, like, for example, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Now I'm starting a bit with X, because I completely understand how the personal brand is important, and that you can actually spread it around with different purposes, and actually extend then your ecosystem. So that being said, when we took the case study of Alex Hormozy, Stephen Bartlett, and then also now spoke about me, so what they have in common. And the really easy answer to this is on the next slide, and is LinkedIn. Even though you know, if you are following actually people like this, that they didn't start on LinkedIn like me, but if you watch, for example, the Diary of CEO, you know that in his breaks, he's actually saying that LinkedIn is his most favorite platform across all, because actually, like, he's mainly targeting business owners and founders, and on LinkedIn you can actually run ads that are super specific. Like just also to say that all of the things that I have built was fully organic, and on LinkedIn we just started to run ads actually this month. We are now like exploring the ways with our clients, but Stephen Bartlett is mainly like targeting founders and entrepreneurs, because he doesn't do only podcasts, and LinkedIn is the #1 source of his current traffic. The same is also for Alex Hormozy. When I was actually in Las Vegas in acquisition.com, there was also his wife, Layla, and they were saying that LinkedIn is the best platform of them all. Mainly because it adds them credibility. It works very well with the search engine optimization and so on and so forth. So it's also necessary to consider this, because these big fishes out there, like when they are actually like saying something like this about the platforms where they put their personal brand, it really means something. So on the next slide, why it is the best place to be in 2026. And here I want to tell you more about statistics. So let's go on the next slide. And it's the 1% content creator that I told you when I was actually introducing you myself. And there is a big there is a big about like 1% content creators on LinkedIn. But I want to debunk it a bit. And it's mainly that you should be on LinkedIn, even if it's just for the sake of posting. And I'm not really a big fan of saying this, but the reason is there behind it. And it's because currently on LinkedIn, there is only 1% of content creators, meaning that it takes really little to actually get the engagement, to actually get the visibility. You can only just post 1 time per week, and you will be already ahead of other creators who are out there on LinkedIn. In comparison with Instagram, which is, for example, 47% of content creators. So you can just compare how much it takes to actually get the visibility on that certain platform. I'm saying that LinkedIn is like YouTube before Mr. Beast. You just want to be there, because then like somebody like Mr. Beast come on LinkedIn, and it will be like YouTube, like try to like get visibility on YouTube. It's hard, guys. So this just being said, just currently, like, if you don't post on LinkedIn, just post for the sake of posting, because it will reward itself. And when you will see the traction, when you will just look at your statistic after just 1 month, you will be like, okay, I am just stopping this for the sake of posting, and I'm just going to take it seriously, because this makes sense. On the next statistic is about 2 times bigger purchasing power. And this I'm touching upon what Tomáš said before. that there is a lots of business owner and business founders on LinkedIn. And the main reason for that is because we see 2 times bigger purchasing power on LinkedIn than on the website. So it means that people are actually more likely to buy certain services, certain products on LinkedIn than, for example, from the websites, which makes it pretty interesting for B2B. Currently, until LinkedIn, when LinkedIn was still like CV, we could see this kind of things like on Upwork, Fiverr, etc., like platforms like these, but they got dominated by people from India, from Pakistan. And now we see LinkedIn, which has really strict policies, how actually people can act on it, and therefore we see big increase of B2B purchasing power, which is amazing.
And that's also the important. I just see that a lot of people from B2B sector just start investing into the TikTok and into the Instagram. But when you are into the B2B sector, you also need to realize where is your potential buyers. And when you are selling into B2B, it's better to target your audience directly on the LinkedIn than to trying to push the money into the Instagram or into the TikTok, where the targeting is not that precise, and you can target the teenagers and etc. that watching you only for your viral content, but this is not your target audience. This is not your buyers, but the buyers are on the LinkedIn when you are the big business, more likely. So
yes. And this is actually great, and I will tell you why. Because in the next statistics on LinkedIn, you actually have a 42% larger deals. And this is actually the reason what just Tomáš was saying about.
I didn't see this slide. So.
But you just like intentionally got to it. So that's amazing. Because usually like when I am jumping on a call with founders, they're like telling, yeah, I'm trying it on Instagram, and like, should I be maybe on TikTok market? And I'm like, so tell me like, what is the average price of your product? And they're like 1,500 USD. And I'm like, good luck with that, because no, this doesn't work on these platforms. Like on these platforms, you need to come up with like some like much smaller introductory product. But on LinkedIn, you can actually like close big partnerships, collaborations, and also statistics backed 42% larger deals. So it means LinkedIn is high ticket platform, high ticket clients platform, as we call it.
And that's also the thing that you already mentioned, that basically the LinkedIn is selling more than the websites, because we also need to realize that people are usually buying also some type of the emotions, because it is not basically when you are selling some product, the buyer is not purchasing the best product. They basically purchasing also some feelings from you, from your product, and etc. And the LinkedIn is also the amazing channel how you can build the right emotions with the right audience. And when you are in competitive landscape, it can be your huge advantage compared to your competitors.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, and then the last statistics is 38% higher efficiency in B2B. This is mainly when it comes to the productivity. So that really people are replying that you don't waste your time, that you really find the right people based on the Sales Navigator. Somebody actually asked in the DMs in the chat of this live if I am using Sales Navigator. I love Sales Navigator. Also, Leadpicker is using Sales Navigator. I'm usually like seeing if people have Sales Navigator, if they really mean it with LinkedIn, because then you get all of the certain filters that you need to target your audience, etc. So we use it on daily basis. Also, like if, for example, clients go with us with our highest package, which is that we take care of their personal brand from A to Z, then we cover the Sales Navigator for them because we need it for the targeting purposes. And then we work with that. Also, I see one question from Milan in the chat, which I actually wanted to reply while you were speaking about the last statistics. And he's saying that he's currently like posting 1 time per week, whereas some LinkedIn guru or a LinkedIn shaman, as I call it, is like recommending 3 to 4 times a week. to boost impressions. So it really depends how actually how you want to take it with LinkedIn. So the more you are posting, the faster the grow is. We usually recommend 1 time per week if you want to see if your LinkedIn is alive, if you are like handling the LinkedIn yourself as a business owner, then 1 time per week is completely fine because you are not full-time content creator and LinkedIn is not your job. So 1 time per week is completely fine to build some like fundamental of the LinkedIn. If you see the conversion from it, etc., then I would not say that it's wrong or bad or good or whatsoever. It's
I,
what suits you.
I will add there my point of view. I see at this moment a lot of people that basically start posting almost every day. But basically, when you take a look on their post, most of them are the AI slop, basically the AI generated content. And the new LinkedIn algorithm that was released 3 weeks ago, at this moment, basically they analyze if the post was written by ChatGPT and other LLMs. And when they see some type of the patterns, this post is suspended by default from the impressions. They receive much less impression than the post that was written manually. So what I highly recommend to do it at least one post that is write manually with your thoughts. That will be truly you, and do not generate basically the AI slop on every day to only check mark that you posted 5 times or the 7 times per week or 4 times. It's better to post one but really good post to comparing to posting every day.
Yep. I agree too. And then of course, like if you want to like grow faster on LinkedIn, if you will see that like it makes sense for example, like investing in it and have a return on investment, then like the increasing on the frequency is definitely like on plate for discussion. But then it's probably like in collaboration with some agency, because as I said, it's not your full-time job to actually analyze on daily basis your LinkedIn profile, your statistics, and so on and so forth.
And also we have there the reply from the Fabian. Hello, Fabian. That low frequency of ghost post give more views that posting slop every day. For the background, the Fabian is grow hacker that is around the LinkedIn also around 6 years at this moment. So we just have the another approved on our opinion. Thank you for that. And at this moment, I just see that we hit a time. Basically, is 5 o'clock. Basically, in Central Europe, in Florida, it should be around 10 o'clock morning, if I'm counting correctly.
Yes.
But we still have few slides, and so we can finish the slides or just give more space for the questions.
Yes, I actually promised somebody the secret sauce. So let's just quickly get into these last few slides. So I hope that at least this presentation, if nothing else, gave you actually the switch in the mindset from the business owner to the business asset holder, because the LinkedIn is your business asset. So you should see the constant growth in it. And definitely, if you, for example, see that you are stuck in some engagements, there is always the place, there is always a strategy that can help you with that. But your personal brand is your business asset, and LinkedIn is social media channel that can actually help you with that, with, for example, the high ticket clients, etc. And on the next slide is the secret sauce. So here is actually a free guide that I put for this webinar, and it's the 10 secret features that will get you clients. So here you can find like a really easy steps on how to, for example, boost your engagements. You can just scan it with your phone and just fill out the details for getting this guide in PDF into your mailbox. Because I actually wanted to do it vice versa, rather to give you a bit of mindset switch than actually like go through these 10 secret LinkedIn features, which you actually can do alone, but you actually cannot switch your mindset at home yourself without being interactive in live sessions. So I think that it's
That's really great approach, because a lot of things you can read on the internet, but you just need to have a feeling to read that. And this feeling or this change basically starting when you shift the mindset that this is something interesting, and I would like to basically run some experiment, for example, for 1 month, if LinkedIn basically makes sense. And at this moment I can basically start interacting with the multiple different playbooks basically that I can implement. And it can be after that is the rabbit hole of the multiple things that you are able to do. You can basically posting the lead magnets, you can posting the LinkedIn shorts slash the LinkedIn reels. After that you can basically posting some type of the presentations on the LinkedIn, and etc. There is multiple types of the different content. You can check the Maria's profile. She is posting almost every day, and every post looks really amazing. How she playing with the graphics and etc. But you can start with one thing that you will test it out for the 1 month. After that, you can start adding the new things. It doesn't make sense to start hiring some graphic designer that will basically start putting together all the graphics inputs. You just need to start, and after that, you can always add something on top of that.
Yes, I completely agree.
I just I just thinking if we have some another slides, maybe I just basically keep this slide for 1 minute to basically give the enough time to scan it and check it out, this resource. Meanwhile, we are open to answer basically the more questions. Okay, so no other questions? Great. So no other questions. We covered almost everything. So I just slowly move to the last slide. Here is some socials from the Maria. Basically, you can follow her on the Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. But the main thing what we discussed today is basically the LinkedIn. So highly recommend to check her profile. It is really awesome. Basically, what I also see that the many profiles basically combine the multiple different brands input, and after that the profile looks like the rainbow, a lot of colors mixed basically on one place. But this is the ideal profile, how the profile should look like. So just basically check it out. And here we are on the last slides, and this is also the LinkedIn for me. When you would like to discuss some type of the automation about the LinkedIn, some type about sales automation, the data orchestration, and etc. How to basically improve the sales cycle itself. And again, here is a LinkedIn for Maria. And I would like to thank to everybody that basically joined us during today. Thank you for your attention. I hope that you will try at least for 1 month to be more active on the LinkedIn. Just basically do not count the likes. Basically start looking more likely for the process itself, how to work with a LinkedIn and how to utilize this social network in B2B is really great. And also thank you for really awesome feedback that we are basically at this moment receiving. So thank you, Kilian. Thank you, Petr. And on the before we ended up, I would like to really thank to Maria that joined us, that basically prepared for us the really nice presentation. And my last thanks goes to the Anna here that basically put everything together. Without Anna, no one will hear. So that's basically the Anička that basically make everything happen.
Thank you.
So much.
And that's pretty much all. So I wish you have a nice rest of the morning, enjoy your lunch, or have a nice rest of the afternoon, and etc. It depends basically where you are right now. And you can follow us basically on the Luma, and when we will have some other webinar, you will receive the notification. And also, Maria, I just seen that also has a lot of her content. I just seen the webinar yesterday, so also go check it out, her profile, because there is also the interesting inputs exactly basically for today's topic and how to utilize the LinkedIn as a sales asset. And that's pretty much all. So again, thank you and goodbye to all. See you.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Bye.
joining.